Movies and Martinis celebrates women and diversity in the entertainment world
by ranking trending movies, shows, and books.
With two completely different perspectives and ranked by delicious martinis.
Listen to find out how many martinis we felt it was worth.
And learn about the women who have written, performed, and/or directed in everything we have rated.
A new episode is available every Thursday on your favorite podcast platform and YouTube. What's up, everyone? Welcome to our podcast. I'm Priya.
And I'm Mercy. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our special guest, Onna. Onna, how are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you for having me on, ladies.
We are so excited to have you because today is our second episode for Books and Martinis, and you're our second guest, and we read your book, so we're fresh off the finishing of it.
Awesome.
And we have lots of questions, and we want to know what's going to happen. Well, you probably won't give us any spoilers for book 2, but
yeah, so spoiler alert, if you haven't read her amazing book, maybe pause on our podcast, read it, and that's it. Then come back and you could have all your questions, and then we'll also put on our comments how you can contact her via Instagram with any additional questions, or if you want to know more about her book. That's so awesome.
What inspired you to start writing Iris, Birth of the Immortals?
Oh boy, so it was a weird dream I had, and I'll just quickly say a little bit about the dream, where I saw a temple and the big pillars, and I saw an angel. So there's a description in the book where I kind of went off of what my dream was. And after that, I was like, wow, what is this fallen angels or angels and whatnot? And I did some research, and then came across the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Book of Enoch. And I was like, whoa, so there is such a story here to flesh out.
Mm-hmm.
And there was.
That's where it just started. And that's where, that's how I got to where I am now with the story.
Why don't you tell our listeners and our viewers a little bit more about you?
Well, I wrote my first book. That took quite a while to write. I live in Seattle, Washington, and I'm working on book 2, and also another special project of my son who passed away last year. So I've got my hands full a bit.
Sounds like you have your hands full. How long did it take you to write this book?
Oh boy. So I started Iris back in 2007.
Wow.
Believe it or not. And what happened is life, obviously, with small children and a divorce, and mom passed away and all that. It took quite a bit of a time for me to get back on and actually start writing it.
Yeah,
and once I did, I finished it off in about 8 months.
Wow.
So I think it was just meant to be at a certain time in my life, and it just happened when it happened. So book number 2 is being written, and I'm very excited for it.
Okay, so I'm going to give you my first opinion, and it's going to be straight on with no filter, from the bottom of my heart. You told me more than once, maybe more than twice or 3 times. It starts off slow, but it picks up. It starts off slow, so I kept expecting. It does not start off slow. It is excellent. It is beautiful.
Thank you.
From the first page, I was immersed. I loved it. And it's funny because Priya and I are opposites. We love the opposite of everything, which is perfect for us because we make such a great team. So I know that what I was loving, all the flower and the description and the dresses and the scenery and the river and all these beautiful things, were the opposite of what she was looking for, the action and where is he going and is he fighting or where's he coming from. And so
half my family is like that, and they were like
so you were able to really cover a lot of ground. And it does not start off slow. Please take that out of your vocabulary, because it is beautifully written and it's at a great pace.
It's very poetic. Like, I feel like the tempo is slower, but it's not slow because it's like a poem. in the beginning. Like you're
It was
describing.
it was in my timing, so it was perfect. I'm like, oh, I'm loving this. It was just perfect for me.
It was all the
Thank
descriptions
you.
and the world building, all those things are necessary. And really like playing into who the characters are and describing the family and like the relationships and how they work. All those things were so important to understand, to break to work up to all the
Yes.
action towards the end, where
Yes.
I was just like, yes.
And
Finally.
I did notice that you had some Bible names and like actual angels, like with Gabriel
Yes.
and Daniel, and it was just so interesting. So I really, really enjoyed your book. Like truthfully, it was just wonderful.
Thank you.
Sometimes we'll reach out to an author and say, well, okay, so we reached out to her, let's read the book. But in this case, it was like, what a great book, you know, let's talk to our author. So it was wonderful. So I just wanted to tell you that. And I wanted to ask you, I have a question here. How long did it take you to craft it? You told us you started in 2007, but then you really did meat and potatoes of it, to say, within the last 7 months of the writing?
Yeah, about
Is that what you
7 to
found?
8 months. And I did have a little one, so my only time frame where I had uninterrupted writing and to like I said, craft the story was when I was able to take her to the gym childcare for about 2 hours.
Write
And be
really
able to
fast
have,
and
yeah, and just
find
kind of, yep,
inspiration and
yeah, and then wait till she sleeps and then be able to continue. So it was a bit of a challenge again, but when the story is in you and you're ready to write it, it's go,
close.
go, go. You
You just
can't
like
stop no matter
throw
what.
up everything on the paper and just
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, they say that's
Yep.
the brain dump. So
Yeah.
Priya and
Yes.
I are well, Priya already wrote her first book. It's getting ready to
Yeah.
be published. I'm still writing mine, and I've been writing mine for way too long, way too long. It's been years and years.
That means it's gonna be great.
But I will finish it this year. I'm committed to finishing it this year. But my point to that is that when we're writers, at least I find that I sit in front of the computer and it might be the right frame of time. Like, okay, I have a free hour. But in the free hour, you might be thinking of squirrels and birds and whatever. And it's right at the end when you get inspired, like, yes, and you're typing, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, it's time to go, or this is ready, and it's like, are you kidding me? So
Yeah,
I know
I understand that
it's so hard
completely.
to schedule it like you did. So kudos to you for being able to work
Yeah.
through so much of life's turbulences. So,
Yeah, it seems like whenever you got a lot of stuff going on, it's either sink or swim, right? And you're just
right.
like, I'm gonna keep swimming. I'm gonna keep swimming.
Yeah. Do the Dory, right?
Keep
Just keep
swimming,
swimming.
right?
Oh,
now.
that's great.
Now, Mercy mentioned some really good characters named after Bible names in the Bible,
Angels. Mhm.
angels in the Bible. And you know, it's funny. The Book of Enoch, I actually read it a long time ago. I used to be
Nice.
really into religious stuff like 20 years ago. And I came across
Knowledge.
it and I read it and I have it somewhere in storage. I don't remember a lot. I just know it's not included in the Bible. It
Mhm.
was taken out, when they put everything together, and it's supposed to have a lot of tidbits in there, like that they don't want
Like
people to know.
documentation. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't want people to know.
Yeah.
What I know you have some inspiration from the Bible and from the Book of Enoch, but what actually stood out to you that made you want to include these little tidbits in the book?
I think it was mainly how there was knowledge in the Book of Enoch that it, for some reason, isn't integrated into the Bible, and the church and everything just doesn't want to talk about it. And it's like, it's very odd to me. It's like, well, whether it happened or not, isn't it something isn't it worth to just kind of talk about and see what it was for?
Yeah.
Like there's a reason why it was written. There's a reason why it survived this long, then it should be explored a little. Why not? So it was just fascinating to me, and I just thought it'd be pretty cool to wield a story of, how it could have happened back then. And of course, that takes a bit of research to look at old, to civilization back in Mesopotamia, Sumeria, and just kind of try and figure out their way of life and try to see how the interactions would be when you have such celestial beings, come down, and all of a sudden people are like, oh, So For me, it was just that. It was the fact that there's information that's just kind of being looked over, and there's a great story to be told. So why not? And it's like, let's start it.
I love that. And I was gonna kind of follow up. I wanted to ask her who her favorite character was. It would be
Favorite
cheating to say
character?
Iris because
Well,
everybody loves
okay.
Iris.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean, there's I have a favorite characters, I should say, but I also have a fun character that I love to write about that will be more, you'll see a lot more of him in the second book. And I guess my favorite character, of course, yes, yeah, Iris is the heroine of the book here, but I do like Daniel because of the emotional turmoil that he goes through. But the one that I love to write about is Azazel. That's how I will pronounce it, because he's just so
Azazel.
diabolical. And so you can kind of just go wild with him, and because it's just who he is and his character. So yeah, it would definitely be Azazel when I'm writing. But my favorite character would probably be a Daniel.
Mercy, what's your
Me
favorite
too. Me
character
too.
from the book?
Daniel, hands down.
Daniel?
Daniel, yes. And
Okay.
second would be
Daniel.
Gabriel.
So I like to go against the grain a little bit, and I'm all for the hero and the good guys, but I love when a character just like pushes my buttons because it makes me want to read more. So
Oh my God, are you talking about the sister?
yes, she annoyed the heck out of me.
Yeah.
She never bothered
I just
me.
wanted to like stop.
Yep.
You know,
Boria has some trauma.
yeah, and right from the get-go, she's like, I'm totally gonna do this. I want to be I want to be this high priestess. I totally want to do it. And she just
Yeah.
leaves her family like without a second thought, you know,
Nobody mattered.
way from the beginning, and she just wants the attention of, okay, am I gonna say his name right? Sama, say it for me.
There's many
Sam.
pronunciations to it. You can call him
Sam.
Sam if you want, but yeah, Samayaza.
Samayaza.
Yeah, also.
Sammy.
Sammy, there you go.
She just wants Sammy's attention, but Sammy is like, ooh, Iris, you know, I want your sister instead. I have my eye on your sister instead. I just brought you in so I can get Iris. And
Every sister's nightmare, right?
right.
That they pick the sister.
And Boria is not having it. She's jealous. She's just not having it.
And
Yeah,
that right there, Priya, would take me to ask you, Anna, what parts of your real life inspired you into this story that you dreamt of? So, you know, a story is a little bit of everything. What part of you is in there? Like, who do you identify with, per se? If you had to say, okay, I'm closest to this one character, who would that be?
it'd probably be Iris. It'd be
So
Iris.
that would have me ask you, do you have a sister?
I do not have a sister, but
Okay.
I grew up with.
You're trying to start trouble.
Throw her under the
I grew up with cousins, and a lot of the interaction, especially in the beginning before Boria goes into her
craziness.
her way of doing things, I should say. You know, I had cousins that I grew up with, and the beginning of it, especially how they were talking and all that is pretty similar to how I grew up with cousins of mine. And of course, best friends, but mainly I have a very close cousin that I grew up with, and like a sister. So yeah, there's of course, we always bring in experiences from life into our books and you know, just embellish it a bit more. But yeah, there is a lot of tidbits in there, definitely, that I
Good. I thought so.
experienced and bring into the story.
Yes, and we usually have that happen.
You know, I'm looking at, I wrote notes. I don't know if you could see it. You probably
No,
can't see
we
it.
cannot. Oh, I see them
Yeah,
now.
of
Yes.
So, the grandfathers, what was your take on the
Mm.
grandfathers? Because one was bad and one was good, obviously.
They were opposites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't one evil and
Mhm.
one celestial, right? Would that be
Yes.
the right
One
way to
is,
say
of
it?
course, is Enoch.
Yeah.
Right.
While the other one is
It's a jerk.
He is a jerk.
He's a bad angel.
Yeah, the other one is a jerk.
Yeah.
And it's kind of basically where back in that time, and like I said, going back to the Book of Enoch, where there's certain group of people that believe in a certain being, while another group do not and have their own many different gods and whatnot. So it was a good way for me to present that in the book. And I think the grandfather's power, where you can see the evil grandfather,
Right.
and where he's at in his life, and then you kind of see where Enoch is kind of more humble, but yet just as powerful.
Wise and
So
wiser.
that contrast, yeah. So that contrast was definitely fun to play with, and we'll continue to in the second book, because that's where a lot more action is going to be happening in the second book.
Oh,
So
excellent.
you'll definitely enjoy
Excellent. Hey, I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. Have you thought of a song, a theme song, a song that every time you hear it, you think of your book?
Well, writing a book, I don't know about you ladies, but I've always had music playing.
Yes.
And a lot of them is just kind of instrumental, like epic music,
Me too.
volume 1 or 2. And then there's a few artists that I did listen to while writing it, especially certain scenes with Daniel and Iris. But in general, it was mainly instrumental. But again, definitely something to I'd confer to YouTube.
Pri and I have done a couple of writing retreats, and our most recent one was so funny because we sat in the same space, but we both had our headsets on. And she would have like some massive, like intense rock just going on really loud, or just something intense. And I had like really smooth classic jazz with no words, nothing, just jazz. And so when we would stop, I'm like, how are you working with that? And she'd look at me like, how are you working with that? I'm like,
That's funny.
Oh, yeah.
You got like System of Down going, and she has like some Beethoven or
Oh yeah,
Basically.
she had like, I don't know what she had. It was crazy.
I got
intense.
some epic music.
Yeah, like even rap, it was just wild in there. I'm like, I can't concentrate.
My character's from Brooklyn. I need some rap.
I know. I do get that.
Okay, so you don't have, I know for book 2, it's still, in the works, and I know you don't want to give up all like the goodies, but what's the deal with Selah? Because
Oh, that's a little girl.
the 8-year-old girl, because towards the end, there's something going on there. Like, there's some like hidden plans
There's a
for
connection.
her. Yeah. Can you share anything about that? Or
And again, not to disclose too much about the book for somebody that hasn't actually read it.
yeah.
But I know that there's a part where they kind of make her believe that the parents have died, and the parents have not died, right? The parents do survive all this. It's just what they were implanting into her brain.
Yes.
So I want to say that she goes back, but I, in all honesty, got completely lost at the end. I felt like, but, and I just stayed like, but wait, what happened?
I know,
I
she
texted
texted
Pri, I'm
me,
like, what the hell? Wait.
I'm like, it's
And
book
she's
2,
like,
Mercy.
There's another book. I'm like, no, I need to know what happened. So yeah, it kind of left me like, hello, what happened?
Yeah, I blurred the lines a lot towards the end, because it's setting it up for book 2, where certain things will be revealed, but certain things will still continue to be blurred, because there's going to be a book 3 and a book 4. But
Oh, nice.
there's definitely Selah has a big part in beginning of book 2, and she's basically used as collateral, I guess I would say. And so kind of you can see how powerful these beings are, and just trying to showcase that, and how fragile humans can be, especially when they're younger. So it's just basically showing the intentions of these celestial beings, and how each one is trying to get to their goal. So yeah, but poor Selah, but it'll be okay. She'll be okay.
Okay.
Okay, good.
That's good to know.
We're like all stressed now. Like, please save
Like
her.
they tricked
You have
her.
the pen in your hand. Save her.
Yeah. She'll have some trauma, but she'll be okay. But like I said, it gets a lot more intense in book 2.
Be kind. She's already had trauma.
Yeah, she has, and her whole life has kind of been somewhat that way, but she's definitely gonna go through things, especially in the second book. And a lot of people are going to go through things.
And I'm sure she'll be kicking ass per se by book 4.
I
be
hope
ready.
so.
She'll be ready to.
For you, Mercy, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, she'll be ready. She'll have gone through it all.
You know, I kind of feel like she was Boria's replacement also. Like, you know, Iris kind of lost her in book 1 because, you know, Boria
And she
went off
had
and did her thing.
a maternal instinct towards her,
Yeah.
which was beautiful.
Yeah.
They had an
yeah.
instant connection.
Yeah, the bond that she had with her sister
Mhm.
that just disappeared so quickly.
Yeah.
And you know, Boria has her issues. She was definitely not open in describing her issues and pain in the beginning.
Right, you
of the
don't hear
book.
her side. Right.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
like I said,
Everybody
more will
has
be
a side.
revealed. Yeah, a lot more will be revealed. I just kind of wanted to get Iris and the family and what's the whole hierarchy of the angels, and you know, get people to have a good idea of somewhat of a foundation, so that the second and the third, it's a lot more action, a lot more kingdoms being established, which always brings you know, Clash of the Titans, so to say.
Sure. And you wrote your book so beautifully. So I thank you for sharing it with us.
So flattered, thank
And
you.
I was really honored. Talk about the way things are meant to happen. I won one of your contests on Instagram.
Yes.
And that's how I got your book. And right off the bat, I was so overwhelmed with the tower of to be read books I had. I'm like, I don't know if I can get to it. I felt so guilty. And you were like, just whenever. And then it was just staring at me the whole time, like, read me. Like, okay.
Well, also, I saw Mercy post about it. I'm like, Mercy, that's sci-fi fantasy. That's
I know.
like, I like
know.
that stuff. I was like,
know.
hey.
It should have been me.
I know. But hey, you know, it worked out the way it had to work out because I absolutely loved it. Now, as a published author, what is your advice to other writers that are out there that are trying to be published?
Number 1, finish the book. Just do it. Don't think too much about what other authors are doing, how popular or not. Like, don't let any fear get to you. Write the story that's in you. Like, you have it for a reason. Just write it, finish it. And I think the biggest thing for me was, once it's done, what do? You know, you have a finished book, so how are you going to put it out there and get people to notice it? So something that I definitely want to help indie authors is, there's so many things that worked for me and things that didn't work, and I'd love to share that experience with anyone who wants to know. They can DM me on Instagram and I'll let them know everything they want.
Great, thank you.
But yeah, the first and foremost is just finish the book, because once you finish it, you still have to edit it a couple times minimum.
Yes.
So, and yeah, we know how fun that is, right?
Yeah. I hate it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, did I do that? Did I really do? Okay, but yeah, definitely finish it. Do the most difficult part, which is the editing, and then after that, there's a learning curve, obviously. If you're an indie author, then I'd love to share it with anyone. And so yeah, but basically just write, get it done. Thanks. Don't pay attention to anything else happening, any authors. It's great. I love reading. I have a lot of, you know, favorite authors myself, but you have to kind of concentrate on your book, and that's it.
Beautiful. I love it. I love it.
And so, how can our listeners and viewers reach you? How can they contact you or purchase your book?
It's available on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Goodreads. I know a few other places as well, but and if they want to contact me, Instagram is the _1 place to go. Just direct message me, anything, any questions.
What's your handle?
It's at Iris_fallen. Oh no, sorry, Iris.fallen_angels.
Awesome.
And we're going to also share the beautiful art of your book with all of our listeners. Oh, much better, Priya. I can't. I get too close, too far. I just can't.
Well, we want to thank you so much for being our guest today.
Yes.
You
Thank
guys,
so much.
please check out her book, Iris, Birth of the Immortals by Onna. Am I saying it right?
You're
Anna?
not. Anna, like Frozen, like Frozen.
Like
That's
Frozen.
who I went
that's
to.
Anna.
Like Frozen.
Onna
Yes,
Bogosian.
yes.
And I do want to say thank you so much for your time for reading the book. You know,
course.
everyone's time is valuable, and I absolutely appreciate it. So thank you so much, ladies.
Oh,
It
it's our
truly means
pleasure.
a lot to me from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
It was
It's
a
our
pleasure. It was a
pleasure.
beautiful book.
It was fantastic. And I'll be posting a review the day the podcast airs.
lovely. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you. Thank you.
So again, guys, check out her book, Iris, Birth of the Immortals. It's available on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, and Goodreads. And make sure you like, share, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we'll see you in the
Absolutely.
next episode.
We'll see you the next time. Bye, guys. Bye, Anna. Bye, Priya.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.